It's the DLLS Mavs Emergency Podcast. Appreciate you joining us here on DLLS Sports. Kevin Gray alongside our DLLS Mavs beat writer Ron Harrod Jr., our DLLS Mavs analyst Bobby Curlin, our national NBA insider Mark Stein. We, of course, are DLLS Mavs. The breaking news, the Dallas Mavericks have announced that Kyrie Irving will miss the remainder of the 2025-26 season as he continues to recover from his torn ACL that he suffered back last March against the Sacramento Kings, which means that Kyrie Irving will be out for the entirety of this season. We'll discuss it here over the next few minutes. Really appreciate you hanging out with us here. Let's go to our National NBA Insider, Mark Stein, with more on this as Kyrie Irving, who has been continuously attempting to recover from the ACL. The team has announced that he will not play this season. What more can you tell us?
Well, I think you guys remember last week, Kyrie Irving promised, I believe it was on a Twitch stream. I'm going to count on Ron Harrod Jr. to confirm that because, you know, I'm not qualified to discern what platform is what. Kyrie Irving said we would get an update after the All-Star break. And, you know, really the All-Star break, it does end today. The Mavs have an optional practice. It is not a full practice. The first full practice is tomorrow. But you know, we have the news. This has been the question since the trade deadline. How much Kyrie Irving would we see for the rest of the regular season? And in something like this, I've been reporting this for the last few days. You have to give the player a lot of agency here. You have to let Kyrie Irving let you know how he feels about this. So if this is the decision that he is sitting out this entire season, you know, he has to feel good about that as well. And there's a pretty long quote from Kyrie Irving in the team's official statement about this decision. And, you know, I'm sure we've talked about it many times. You have to weigh a lot of things here. And I think Kyrie has looked so good in the clips we've seen going all the way back to when Kevin Gray and I were actually on the floor at Simon Fraser University, and they let us in. They let the media in to the, you know, first media.
Looks like we need to get Stein's audio back here in just a second.
Stein, your mic cut off. Your mic cut off, Mark.
Yeah. We'll get him back here in just a second. The statement from... Oh,
sorry, guys.
He's back. He's back.
Yeah. So from
can you go? You can start from the part where it's at Simon Fraser University.
Yeah, so we walked into the gym at Simon Fraser University, and right away, Kyrie Irving, we see him in action with Phil Handy going through a pretty strenuous workout, and you're thinking, man, if he looks this good in early October, we're going to see him at some point. Am I hearing music, or is that just me?
I think it's just
I don't hear anything.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always hearing music in my head.
That is so weird. I am hearing the show theme on loop in my ear.
Oh, wow.
That's a new one.
Thanks.
So basically what I've been told is, as great as Kyrie looks whenever we see him, we still haven't seen him. To my knowledge, he has not been in anything close to a full speed practice yet. So I think there was still a ways to go, even if he wanted to make a comeback this season. And, you know, let's be honest, the Mavericks can't come out and say this, but this is also their preferred scenario.
Kyrie Irving saying in a statement with the Dallas Mavericks, quote, "The decision wasn't easy, but it's the right one. I'm grateful for the Mavericks organization, my teammates, and our fans for their continued support throughout the process. I'm looking forward to coming back stronger next season. The belief and drive I have inside only grows." He goes on to say, quote, I wanted to send a huge shout out to all of my brothers and sisters out there who've torn their ACL or gotten injured doing what they love to do every day. Thank you for the inspiration. No fear, end quote.
Yeah.
I mean, go ahead, Ron.
Yeah, I was just going to say, as our fellow Twitch expert, according to Mark Stein, so Kyrie on Twitch over the All-Star weekend, so he's with the Anthem brand. That's his shoe deal, clothes deal. Well, apparel, we'll use that word. So he was streaming at that event. He also streamed after, did some work with Phil Handy. Again, he's looked great in all the videos that we've seen. Kyrie Irving, I've got a chance to see him in person just after practice doing some stuff. He's looked really good. But I think this was very telling, which he said on the stream, on his rehab. He said, it's not easy. It's not easy to come back from any injury, but you got to be mentally, spiritually, and physically ready. And the frustrating portion has been not being able to push myself to that brink where you're just dog tired. So I think he just shows the rehab process of an ACL tear. There's like different levels, different tiers. He's trying to get to, 150%, as he said. He's trying to get to kind of where he used to. He comes from that Kobe Mamba mentality where they push themselves to, that brink of, quote unquote, like extreme tiredness. He hasn't been able to do that. And just by what he's saying, he hasn't been, I guess, comfortable in that way, feeling like, quote unquote, his old, self. But like you said, Kyrie Irving has still looked good. And now he'll have over a year, before he plays, an official, regular season NBA game again, which is probably perfect for someone at his age.
I think that Adam and Sheldon got it right. Sheldon said, I miss seeing Kyrie play. Adam said, really, really sad for fans. Kyrie is so much fun to watch. He is incredibly creative. He's obviously very good, but there's so much self-expression in his game. Like he is like doing new things all the time, and there aren't many players that just, really kind of defy your imagination and like, not to be too hokey about it, but like expand what you think is even possible on the floor. But beneath that is an incredible reliance on physicality, jump stops, explosive first steps, changing direction, intricate footwork, stopping on a dime and starting again. And all of these things put a lot of stress on your knees. And so, I know that every basketball player has to be able to trust their joints, their knees and their feet. Those are the two and the ankle along with the foot. It's so important, right? But if you have any doubt, not fear because you're a scaredy cat, but just any concern about your knee, then you're not going to be able to be yourself out there. You're going to be thinking, you're going to be worried, you're going to be concerned. And then you might try and favor one leg over the other and hurt that one too, And so I totally get that Kyrie, especially at his age now, would say that it's not worth the risk. It's just not worth the risk. I want to feel like myself again. I want to be 150%. I want to have absolutely no hesitation. And I want to be able to trust myself completely that I can play the way I want to without worrying about getting hurt for 82 games. But also Stein, and Adam and Sheldon said the same exact thing. It's the right thing to do for the Mavs, so I've missed watching Kyrie play for a year. I'm going to continue missing watching him play for the next 8 months. And I cannot wait until October whenever I can watch that dude play again.
Well, look, we still have a third of the season to go. And so hopefully there will be a chance. Hopefully there will be a full press conference at some point where we can ask Kyrie Irving to kind of walk us through his thought process so we don't have to guess, because I don't want to guess. I would rather hear it from him. And I've seen Kyrie a couple times in recent weeks, but it was a quick hi and hello. There wasn't really a chance to ask him about it. And to be honest, I don't think he was really going to want to talk about it until a declarative statement was made about the future. But you guys know the question that I've been asking for weeks now is how does he feel? How, if he takes this whole season off, how will he feel about basically being away from game action for 19 months before he can play in a game next season? He clearly had to feel good about that, or had to be willing to sign off on that to go that route. I've been wondering, would he say, should I play 5 games just to give this thing a test run? I think Paul George did a similar thing late in a season after he suffered that just horrendous leg fracture playing for Team USA. So sometimes the player wants to play a few games at the end of the season, but I think also Jamal Murray in this same position took a whole season off after an ACL. Again, if I'm remembering these things right, you guys know at this point, I don't always trust my badly aging memory. But we also got to remember here too, on March 23rd, both the coach and Kyrie Irving share a birthday. Kyrie turns 34 on March 23rd. So he has to take, I mean, it is wise to take the long-term view, because he doesn't want to just come back. He wants to he was playing last season at a ridiculous level, basically 50, 40, 90, and he wants to be that guy again as soon as possible. So the other thing here is, and again, we're going to have to get clarity on this. We don't know this in the immediate aftermath. Just because he doesn't come back this season, can we see him on the practice floor? Will he be able to be a participant in full speed practices between now and the end of the season? To be honest, there's not going to be a lot of practices when you get to this point in the season anyway, but that's certainly an open question that we're going to have to get the answer to.
And as Stein alluded to, Kyrie Irving will turn 34 on March 23rd. So by the time he gets back on the floor, he'll be 34 and a half, entering his age 35 season going into next year. His stepmother and agent, Shatilia Riley Irving, providing a statement as well, saying, quote, "This is about Kyrie being 1,000% when he comes back and giving himself the best chance to chase a championship next season." So it'll be interesting to see how the Mavericks move, obviously, not only for the rest of this year, but into the offseason to continue to build around Cooper Flagg and what the direction of this franchise is, which is full speed ahead in the Cooper Flagg era, and what that means for Kyrie Irving.
Title incoming, championship games. Let's go.
And what that means for Kyrie Irving and his pursuits.
I didn't have it's too early for me to react to that kind of silliness.
And what he decides that he wants to do for the remainder of his time in Dallas, or what that does mean moving forward for him as well. So those will all be questions that will be answered throughout the rest of the season and going into the offseason. Sheldon Fennell, a couple comments. Definitely need another ball handler along with Coop to take the lead off Kyrie next year. Let's ease him into his role and get him easy shots. We'll talk about all this throughout the course of the offseason as the Mavericks look to position themselves. As our guy Mark likes to say, draft position prioritization is full and center for the Mavericks going forward here for the remainder of this season. We will have more on this discussion with Kyrie Irving being out for the remainder of the season, what that means for the Mavericks for the rest of this year and going into next offseason as well, as they'll get back on the floor on Friday when they take on the Minnesota Timberwolves. We will have our regular podcast at 12 p.m. right here on DLLS Sports. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe while you're here as well. And then tune in with us at 12 p.m. Lanesso at the buzzer with the $2 super chat. Go ahead, Bobby.
Our bet for 2027 champs is looking good. That's right. That's right. I've staked my entire retirement fund on the 2027 championship games. All right. You don't tell me. I'm way over my head.
They're going to be a tankathon spin on the noon show.
Oh, we didn't get one yesterday, so we might actually have to do two.
We'll discuss all that at 12 p.m. on DLLS Mavs.
You guys still want me to come in studio?
Yes.
Let me land this damn plane so we can get to the studio. Mark Stein, our National NBA insider, our Mavs analyst, Bobby Krell, our DLS Mavs beat writer, Ron Harrod Jr. I am your host, Kevin Gray. We are DLS Mavs. We'll talk to you at 12 p.m. right here on DLLS Sports. Y'all be good. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.